break down UFC 299. We're going to give you our early predictions. This is an absolutely stacked card. A lot of people are saying it's better than UFC 300. Either way, it's a hell of a card. Let's break it down. First fight of the night, we got Joanne Wood versus Marina Moroz. This is a very low-level women's MMA fight. Joanne Wood's been checked out for a while now. If you have any kind of power, I'm always going to pick you to beat Joanne Wood. Problem here is Moroz doesn't really have that power. And Moroz isn't active at all. Now, this is a rematch, and I think Moroz will still win this fight. I think she's going to get the takedowns and either grind out or just win the points or possibly submit her like she did the first time. But this is actually a fight where Joanne Wood at least has a chance. Like anyone with power, she doesn't have a chance. But here, at least Moroz isn't like a big puncher. So I like probably some kind of over or Moroz to win on the ground. What do you think?
Yeah, well, minus 180 Moroz sucks. Her 45% takedown defense sucks. Um, she's on a two-fight losing streak, and Joanne Wood showed that in her last fight against Carolina that she can still outstrike a striker, and she showed a little bit of wrinkle in the ground game that she can take people down. But I guess Moroz had fought Karine Silva, who's a killer, Maya, who can outvolume people. So I think this comes down to Moroz employing the ground game. If she can't get her down, Joanne Wood is just going to piece her up on the feet. So, yeah, man, I'm leaning dogger pass here because it's such a low level women's MMA fight. So I think Joanne Wood, I know she seems checked out, but Moroz's wrestling isn't the greatest. So, yeah, plus 162 seems cool.
All right. Next fight of the night, we got CJ Vergara, 12-4-1 versus Azu Almabaev, 18-2. Almabaev, he should dominate this fight. Like, I don't think CJ Vergara is good at all. He seems, I know he has no like knockout losses on his record, but he seems kind of chinny to me. He's always getting rocked and then coming back and somehow pulling shit out of his ass. I think Almabaev's going to be better everywhere. Personally, I think he's the better grappler. And I think he's going to be the better striker too, to be honest. And I think he's more durable. I think he's better everywhere. That's just what I think. What do you think?
I think he's better everywhere too. I think he's a better striker. Probably won't strike as much with Vergara, but I don't think it actually matters. Like Vergara is no like world beater on the feet either, and I don't see Vergara taking down Asu. I think it's the opposite way. Asu looked pretty clinical against Ode Osborne there, defensively striking and with the grappling too, right? And let's you can do your MMA math if you want, if you're one of those kind of guys. Ode Osborne beat our buddy here on a unanimous decision, CJ Vergara. To be honest with you, you should have finished him. And CJ is he can be finished on the ground. And if it wasn't for Daniel Lacerda's absolute worst gas tank, like that fight would have been a loss as well. Like if Lacerda had any fight IQ. So yeah, man, I'm leaning hard with Asu. Odds suck, but yeah, I think he's pretty safe.
All right. Next fight of the night, we got our heavyweight slobber knocker here. We got Rebellis Despaigne 4-0 versus Josh Parisian 15-7. There's just not enough tape on Rebellis here. Now he's 4-0. He's got 4 first-round knockouts. Awesome. I love to see that. I mean, I'm excited to see how that's going to translate in a UFC fight. But there's just not enough to feel super confident. Heavyweight fights, they're already not confident picks. And then you got a newcomer versus Josh, who's kind of like a bum in my standards. Like he's not good. I'm going to hope this guy continues his knockout streak. And yeah, that's what I'm rooting for, but it won't be no big play for me. What do you think?
Yeah, 4 first-round knockouts, big red flag. We don't know what he gets. It's a huge red flag. To be honest with you, with a guy like Parisian who actually isn't that great, but if you look at the record and the way he's lost, like a Martin Buday Kimura in the first round, a unanimous decision to Pogues, a KO by Dontel Mays in the third round with elbows, and Parker Porter, he lost a unanimous decision. So he's not losing in the first round. He's not getting starched in the first round. I haven't seen so much of it. Like this guy's striking good, but like who knows it? Prison. If this gets in the second round, it might get kind of like greasy, right? And then that's where I'm saying, like, I don't know much about Rebellis, especially to land minus 450. I'm not saying that I want to lay plus 350 on Josh Parisian, but if he survives the first round, he might be able to grease this out. Plus 350 is my pick. based on the odds. I can't lay minus 450 on a newcomer like this.
No, definitely not. All right, next fight of the night, we have a reschedule from Felipe Lins versus Jan Cutelaba. This fight was supposed to happen a while ago, actually. Any Jan Cutelaba fight, you're picking some kind of under. The guy's kill or be killed. If he can get you down quickly, he can snatch a neck. He throws with bad intentions, but like he's a wild man. You just, I don't know. I can never really pick him, to be honest. And then Felipe Lins, I think, is the more technical fighter everywhere. But this guy has issues with like just honestly like physical fitness. Like with his fights, I usually wait till the weigh-ins. When he comes in shape, he's a good fighter. Sometimes he's shown up so out of shape. Like he just looks so soft and he's just so like, so I almost need to see him on the scales. I got to see what he looks like. I do think Lins is the better fighter, probably everywhere. So my initial leans is going to be with Lins. And just because it's a Cutelaba fight, I always choose like a finish because you're going to get the extra points, and he just never goes to decision, I find. What do you think?
I find that Lins wins fights where he has the grappling edge, and I don't think he has the grappling edge here. I really do not think he has the grappling edge here. It makes him feel more comfortable, and when he has to strike it out, he looks uncomfortable. And we both talked about this in previous like videos. He's a very low volume fighter. So I don't know what the odds are. I don't have them in front of me. They're not on Bet365 right now. So my initial lean is actually with Cutelaba. But my problem with Cutelaba is the fight IQ. He's so dumb sometimes. He's so dumb. And he puts himself into bad situations. If he would wrestle, use his power, and then, keep coming forward like he does, his gas tank seems okay. He does slow down, but it seems okay. He's never death tired, not like those heavyweights I just watched. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, my initial lean is Cutelaba. I got to see odds and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, Lins is technical, but I don't think this is going to be a technical fight. Cutelaba doesn't let he doesn't let it be technical, right? He doesn't let you stand at range. He won't let you pick him apart one punch at a time. He just doesn't let it happen. So it's all about how Lins is going to react to the pace that Cutelaba pushes.
I just can't put money on him because he's just so fucking reckless.
He's so dumb. He's dumb. Exactly. He should have beat Ryan Superman Span, but he stuck his neck out. He was dominating that fight. There's so many fights that he lost that he was dominating. So yeah, I get it, but he fights like a madman, and Lins doesn't. So how is he going to react to this, right?
Yep, fair enough. Next fight of the night. Really looking forward to this one. We got Michel Pereira, 29-11, versus Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, 19-6. Hard name to say. So everybody kind of likes Michel Pereira. He used to fight kind of crazy. He's actually calmed down on that wacky shit. He's been fighting a lot more technical lately. He's been using his grappling a lot. And I think that would be best suited for him here as well, because Mikhail is actually a very good striker. He's a pretty dangerous guy too. If you give him the chance to strike with you, like, he can finish. Absolutely, he's a finisher. But he has been held down and grinded out before. Like that Kyle Barallo just basically made it look easy. Took him down super, super easy. So I'm thinking Michel would be best to grapple here. He probably knows that. If he has good coaches, I think that's how he's winning this fight. But I think if he stands and trades with him, I think Mikhail has a very live shot to pull that off. But I'm going to say Pereira uses his grappling here. Not super confident. What do you think?
I think Pereira uses his grappling, and that would be good for him because Oleksiejczuk has only a takedown defense of around the 50% mark, which is not good. And Cody Barnes took him down 3 times, and he's a wrestler. Pereira has shown good wrestling. Now, I think the kicker on this is the volume. Oleksiejczuk does finish fights, but he showed that he doesn't. I don't feel like he throws enough. 69 in a unanimous decision loss to Jacoby. The ones he doesn't KO doesn't matter. He split decision. He only threw 56 against Blaydes. Like, these aren't good numbers. And if this fight gets drawn out, which it could, he's not going to beat him on the volume. I don't think he's going to beat him on the ground. Michel seems pretty safe to me. I say that, but I
thought Mikhail looked really good since dropping to middleweight, though. Other than the Kyle Barallo fight, like, his pace has been a lot higher at middleweight. He's not the super undersized guy anymore. Although he's still going to look undersized here, though.
But Michel Pereira has a chin on him when we've seen him get hit before. And I don't think he can KO Michel Pereira because of that chin. That's the thing, right? And once this thing, he'll slow down and Pereira will take over. Pereira's lost first rounds a lot, right? So I do actually think he has the cardio edge here as well.
Okay. Moving on, next fight of the night, we got Pedro Munhoz versus Kyler Phillips. Interesting fight. Pedro Munhoz, full disclosure, I can't stand his fights. I cannot stand them. I find him boring. I find he's kind of like a point fighter on the feet with a hell of a chin. Like, you don't knock the guy out, so he's not going to be knocked out, nothing like that. Throws like stupid spinning. There was one fight, I forget who it was. He just kept throwing spinning back kicks. He was coming nowhere close to hitting anyone. And it was just frustrating to watch. And I was like, what the fuck am I watching right now? And then Kyler Phillips, I like him. I hope he puts on a fast pace. I hope he, at his best, he looks great. He has gassed out a couple times, so that's a little bit worrying. And he hasn't had to fight the same level of competition. So that's definitely worrying too. But I just prefer his pace. I prefer his style. I want him to win. I'm going to be rooting with Kyler Phillips. I don't see any odds yet, so I don't know what I'm going to, I don't know how I'm going to play it or if I'm going to play it, but I want Kyler Phillips to win strictly due to volume and pace. What do you like?
Kyler Phillips, I like, but it's for kind of different reasons. Because I don't think he's going to be able. He likes to employ the ground game, and the ground game is what usually tires Kyler Phillips out. I don't think he's going to be able to take down Pedro Munhoz. So he's got a pretty good takedown defense at like we're looking like 75-80%. So like I don't think he takes him down. He's not going to knock him out because Pedro Munhoz has got an elite chin, so he's going to outstrike him. I know that he can outstrike him, because I've seen him throw volume. I know Pedro is kind of low volume too. So I'm leaning Kyler Phillips minus 220. Minus 220 kind of scares me off the actual like bet or anything like that. But what I want to see is when the props drop, what the over 2.5 is. I don't see this not going to decision. Like I think this goes to decision. Unless it's Pedro Munhoz knocking out Kyler Phillips. That would be the only other way that this doesn't go to decision. Because Munhoz is a fucking ironclad guy. Kyler's kind of fragile at times, but he is a good fighter. And I think he has the tools to win this fight by volume. That's it. I think.
Fair enough. Next fight of the night, another good prelim here. We got Mateusz Gamrot, 23-2, knocking on the door to a title shot pretty soon, versus Rafael dos Anjos, 32-15. Got to be near the end of his career. Gamrot I find incredibly boring. Honestly, I do. And like his takedowns look terrible against Beneil Dariush a couple fights ago. He did rebound since then. I think he looked pretty good in his last fight. Actually, wasn't anything special. The problem is Dos Anjos loses by being grinded out, by being taken down. And I think that's how Gamrot's going to win this fight, because he's not going to stand and trade with him and knock him out. So I don't think he's going to win the striking. I don't think he's going to submit Rafael dos Anjos. So I think he's going to play a kind of boring, grinding game here. And it's going to be another fight where nobody's really impressed and nobody wants to give him that title shot because his performances just kind of suck. But he will win. He'll win on points again. I think Gamrot grinds it out just with wrestling. What do you think?
Dos Anjos loses fights where he doesn't have the grappling edge. I don't think he has the grappling edge here. I think it's going to look similar to that Luque fight, where whenever Gamrot feels threatened on the feet, he's going to just take it to the ground. His wrestling, you've seen the scrambles, we've seen the wrestling. It actually didn't look good against Dariush, but he has rebounded, like you said, against Jalen Turner and the last fight where he actually got a knockout. But like, so like, I think he grinds him out though. I think he does. That win against Fiziev was big. So,
Yeah, for sure.
That was
sure. I mean, it was an injury. It was an injury, but
yeah, he gets a TKO by technicality, but he was winning the fight up to that point. So like, give him his dues, but he wasn't knocking him out. So it would have probably been a grind him out decision. The same way that I see this, because I mean, he wants to stand on the feet. He's playing with fire. Not that Dos Anjos is any like world beater on the feet, but that's his win condition.
Yep. All right, moving on. We got Caitlin Chookagian, 18-5 versus Macy Barber, 13-2. If you've been around long enough and watching our videos, I don't like Macy Barber at all, but I actually hate Caitlin Chookagian even more. I can Mrs. Hua every strike she fucking makes a sound. No power, pitter patter, point fighter, just wants to play a slow pace, pick you apart from the outside fight. Is she more technical than Macy Barber? Probably. Again, I'm not big on Barber, but one thing I can say is she is a tough girl. She does come forward. She does put on the better pace. And at least she has been looking better lately. I know she got the huge knockout over Amanda Hebus there. She's just been looking better. I think maybe she'll be able to get a takedown or two. But even if not, I think she might be able to win on just volume alone. I would almost guarantee this fight goes the distance or some kind of over. Not particularly looking forward to it, but I will lean Macy Barber and the overs. What do you think?
Chookagian usually loses to the best in the division. So are we calling Macy Barber the best in the division? So I don't know. Because her last two losses, Chookagian, were to Manon Fiorot, who is inferior to Macy Barber. I don't care. Anyone can come onto the comments and say what they want. I'd take Manon Fiorot any day. And the other one was it was like a sort of a weird liver kick, from Jessica Andrade, but the power from Andrade is crazy. And I don't know if Macy Barber has that. Always, she doesn't always turn up, you know what I mean? And then the fight before that was Valentina Shevchenko. So, she doesn't really lose to these kind of girls. And now Macy's taking that step. I think it's a step up for Macy. So this is the Matador versus the Bull, I feel. So if Chookagian's jab's working and she can Matador this, she'll win a pitter patter decision.
I don't have the odds in front of me. What are the odds here?
It's plus 162, minus 188. Same as the other girl fight, but I think the other women's fight is closer. The Wood and Moroz fight, they're way closer than this fight. I mean, Macy's got a path to victory. She's got to put the pressure on her. She's got to come after her. But all those fighters that try to do that to Chookagian and have only a certain breed of them have been successful. Valentina, Andrade, girls, now Andrade is the best example here to take from. Macy Barber goes in there with like the attitude that Caitlin Chookagian cannot knock me out, which she should. Then she'll win this fight the same way Andrade won this fight, right? Maybe not by knockout, but she's got to go in with that attitude. The problem with Macy is I fucking don't see that attitude all the time, and like I hate it. Arguably, she didn't go in with that attitude against our girl Andrea Lee, and almost lost to an inferior opponent. To be quite honest with you, right? So, hey,
So
I don't know.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna just pass on this fight. To be honest with you, I like the other fight as the underdog. I can see a path for Caitlin. And now, if you're gonna give me her decision at like plus 300, plus 400, then yeah, I might stab that. But
so for me, Chookagian just hasn't been active at all. Barber's still improving, like she's younger. She has been active. And then you look at both of their last fights, they both fought Amanda Hebus. And I honestly thought Chookagian lost that fight to her. Like it was a razor close split decision against a girl who was coming up a weight class to fight her. So she fought a tiny girl, barely scraped by Hebus, and I thought Macy Barber absolutely. I know it's MMA math doesn't work, but
you're right.
Barber
they fight.
Barber killed her.
They fight.
What's
different.
that?
They fight different.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I'm like I said, like I think it's the Matador thing. If her jab's working, if she can keep Macy at range, then that's the problem. That's the issue. That's how she wins the fight. If Macy gets fucking too close to her, it's done.
Yep. All right, next prelim of the night. I think this is a wicked fight. I'm shocked it's a prelim. We got, in my mind, the heavyweight title eliminator here. We got Curtis Blaydes, 17-4 versus Jailton Almeida, 20-2. I think the winner gets Aspinall. Like, I don't think John Jones is fighting anybody anytime soon. Maybe he wins that Miocic fight or whatever and retires, but he ain't fighting fucking Tom Aspinall. No way. So to me, this is the number one contender match. And I think the whole world is kind of sleeping on Blaydes here. I think Blaydes has the wrestling to stuff Almeida's takedowns. Because listen, Almeida's a hell of a grappler. If he gets you down, he can just get to a dominant position and either ride out the minutes like he did with Derek Lewis or find your neck or arm. Like he's a great grappler, 100%. But his striking's not great. And we haven't seen him have to fight a wrestler with real takedown defense. So this is the test. If he gets Curtis Blaydes down like it's no big deal, Almeida might very well be the real deal. Very well might be. But I'm not sold yet personally. I think Curtis Blaydes can use the wrestling to stuff the takedowns, and I think he can outstrike Almeida and possibly win by knockout. Like either way, right now I believe Blaydes is the underdog. So I'm on the dog or pass side. What do you think?
It's even -110 both ways. But aside from a lucky takedown by Alexander Volkov in that fight where he got taken down 14 times, and a couple takedowns in back early in his career, Curtis Blaydes, but I think it was Cody East. The man's never been taken down. Jailton Almeida, for all the good he's done in the UFC, kind of doesn't look amazing on the feet, right? And what I've seen in Blaydes' career is like Blaydes has a decent striking game. It's just that the power isn't the same as some of the other heavyweights. And his chin is kind of like, you can say it's kind of wonky, but it's not, he's been knocked out.
By the biggest hitters.
Yeah, by Pavlovich, by Derek Lewis, sorry. But I haven't seen Almeida throw a strike with that sort of pinpoint accuracy as those two boys did in those fights. The striking's isn't work. It's a work in progress. It looks sloppy at times. And then he always reverts to that ground game. But what happens if he can't get the guy down? I don't think he can get the guy down. And then if that happens, it's a kickboxing match, and I think Blaydes has the better kickboxing. So I'm going to go on a limb here, not just pick Curtis Blaydes. I think it's Curtis Blaydes by decision. I don't think it's Curtis. I don't see any quit in Jailton Almeida, but I also don't see the one-hitter quitter power from Curtis Blaydes. So maybe Curtis Blaydes takes him down. You know what? He's a jiu-jitsu guy. You really think Blaydes won't get tapped from the bottom? Like, I can't see that happening in men's heavyweight MMA. If he's able to pull a Frank Mir out of his ass with the triangle from the bottom, then so be it. But I mean, I think Blaydes is the better wrestler per se, and he might be the guy that takes the guys down. So if this is a kickboxing match, Curtis Blaydes, I'm going to go on a limb and say decision.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. All right, moving on to the main card. If you haven't already, please please subscribe. We do appreciate it. First fight of the main card, we got a banger. We got Petr Yan, 16-5 versus Yadong Song, 21-7-1. These are two guys that honestly, I love them both. I don't want either guy to lose here. Like, I'm a big fan of both. The problem with Yan is sometimes he's low volume. He seems to have just lost something. I don't know whether it's the confidence or maybe it's the chin that, like, he used to be a little Terminator that would just march forward, walk through everything, hunt you down, and beat you up and be the bully. And lately, it's just like he's lost something there. It's just not quite the same. Like, even, yes, I think he probably should have won the O'Malley fight, but he was hurt a couple times. Like, something is just not the same there. And I think Yadong Song is just the more pace, more volume, more energy. It's crazy to say it, but I think Yadong Song is probably going to win this fight. I think it'll be close, though. 3-round fight. Like, there's no reason why this isn't a very close fight that could potentially go either way, because I don't think either guy's getting finished in a 3-round fight here. So I like all the overs. I like decisions. I think it's going to be close, and it wouldn't shock me if Song's just a little bit more volume. What do you think?
Yeah, a little bit more volume, and I also think Yadong Song will use some takedowns in this fight because he has been taking down people. He has been taking down people in his last few fights, and I don't think he'll be taken down by Petr Yan. And I told you weeks ago that I wanted to bet on Yadong Song. I said he's shown the progression in his career, and Yan is showing that he is something he lost. Like you said, I couldn't put it any other way, and he's going down. And I think Song showed that he can defend a good wrestler in Ricky Simone. He showed that he can employ his own offensive wrestling in his last fight, who was Gutierrez. And he's also shown propensity to be able to strike with people. And I think, for lack of a better, I think he has more power than Yan. Not that Yan doesn't have any power. So I think he's the more well-rounded guy here. And we might be sleeping on Petr Yan, but I'm going with the younger, fresher, hungrier lion in this fight, and I said I wanted to. Yadong Song has made me a lot of money in my leg. in my betting career. So I took him against Ricky Simone. I took him in his last fight, and even the fights he's lost, aside from the Corey Sandhagen one where they stopped, he showed a lot. He showed a lot of heart in that one, and that one was damn close. It wasn't as cut. Everyone wants to say, "Oh, Corey was winning that fight." It wasn't just that cut and dry, man. Song was right in that fight with Corey Sandhagen, and he showed a lot of heart. I can't believe they cut it for a stupid cut on his eye or whatever, right? So he was getting out volumes, but he was turning it on at the end, and you can see the cardio and all that stuff. And Jan does tend to slow down. I know it's a 3-round fight. I'm not gonna say anything more. I'm on Yadong Song. I picked him weeks ago.
Yeah. No, you did. And like I said, I actually like both guys a lot here. Like on a personal level, I'm a fan of both of them. And I don't see a finish. 3 rounds. They've both gone 5. Like I think this is a decision all day. And yeah, I can't get there on a betting point. Like it's for me, it's going to be kind of close, so I can't get there to bet. But cool. All right, moving on. We've got Gilbert Burns versus Jack Della Maddalena. Burns coming in at 22-6. Jack at 16-2. I think most people are going to look at Jack's recent performances. He has obviously a split decision over Kevin Holland. He has that split decision over that newcomer guy that was taking him down. And yeah. The newcomer that was kind of taking him down kind of at will and controlling him in very dangerous positions. So I think a lot of people are going to be on the Burns submission here. I'm not. I actually think this is for some reason, I don't know why, I think this is a good matchup for Jack. I don't think Gilbert Burns' takedowns are good, to be honest. I think that guy, I know that newcomer might not have the name that Gilbert Burns does, but I think he's a much better wrestler than Gilbert Burns. So I think Jack's actually going to be able to stuff these takedowns. I think I might look like an idiot and he might get tapped in the first minute, but I think he's going to be able to stuff the takedowns. I think Gilbert Burns is an undersized welterweight, and I think Gilbert Burns is a little bit chinny, and Jack hits hard. So I think Jack's finally going to rebound, get the big knockout, and move on. I don't know. I'm taking Jack by knockout. Totally understand the other side. That's just me. I'm on Jack knockout. What do you got?
I'm gonna pass this fight because I'm not too sure about Jack's takedown defense, and I do think Gilbert Burns can run a pace on him. And Jack's shown that sometimes as the fight gets drags out, he kind of loses that gas tank, and he's not the same fighter in round 3 that he is in round 1. He's a very good round 1 fighter. So I'm gonna pass. I don't have an official bet or pick because I'm leaning towards Gilbert Burns. But we are going to do a second show. I'm going to take a little bit more time to look at that wrestling of his. Because if he can get him down, it's a whole new ball game. I don't think Jack gets up. I just don't. And if he gets up, he's going to expose his back. You think his jiu-jitsu is that good? Like Gilbert's got real good. He loses fights when he can't take the guy down, right? He couldn't take down Bilal Muhammad. He loses the fight, right? Fights like Stephen Thompson where he is able to take the guys down, then yeah, you know what? You showed a good chin against Khamzat, and he outstruck Khamzat. So the striking is there. So if he in a firefight, he looks like he can get her done, right? So yeah,
I don't like him in a firefight against Jack. That's just me personally. Like I don't know.
If he can withstand if Chimaev's punches to the face, and I watch that fight.
Chimaev's loopy punches, though. Jack is a much better boxer.
Jack is the competition's going up and his performances are going down. I don't know.
100%. I agree with that 100%.
I don't know yet, and I'm leaning Gilbert. I'm leaning, but we'll get it. We'll solidify the pick later.
Yep, for sure. All right, moving on. We got the featured fight that they're pushing pretty heavily. They're really pushing this Michael Venom page here, 21-2, and he's taking on Kevin Holland, 25-10. I've been saying for weeks that I wanted to smash Kevin Holland here. Like, I think that he can knock out Michael Venom Page or possibly submit him, but I don't think he really uses his grappling offensively these days. So I don't think he's going to be shooting takedowns here. The problem with me, the reason why I haven't smashed this bet yet is it's Kevin Holland. He just fights fucking dumb sometimes, man. Like I can't fucking trust him to take the shit serious and fight like be all business. Sometimes he's just too friendly and wants to like fight your kind of fight and just kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not describing it well, but I just can't fucking trust him. Like if he would go for it, like right from the bell and be 100% business, I think he can catch Michael Venom Page and put him out. Personally, I think he can. But I don't know. I got to assess whether I want to take that gamble on Kevin Holland or not. I'm not sure, but I think that he does have the skills to win this fight. What do you think?
That's a striker versus striker. I don't see this going on the ground. They're both idiot strikers too because they stand at range and just like feint, feint, feint. Nobody throws anything. Michael Venom Page, I would say, probably has the power, but Kevin Holland has some hidden power as well. So I don't know. I'm leaning Michael Venom Page right now, just because he seems like when he fights, he's more into the fight. Kevin Holland, like you said, wants to hug everybody, wants to laugh, wants to talk to Dana. He's getting slammed, and he's like, "Oh, look, I got better," like dumb shit like that. I know Michael Venom Page is a fucking idiot too, and talks a lot of shit and doesn't always back it up. But yeah, I'm gonna roll with Michael, the newcomer, Michael Venom Page, in a fight that I think is gonna be low volume on both ends.
The reason I want to hammer Holland is I think for all his fucking dumb shit, he's like extremely durable. Like he's never been knocked out. Like sure, he's taken some beatings and he kind of quit in the Wonder Boy fight to a certain degree there. But like he's never truly been chinny. Like he's been clocked and he takes a shot. Maybe he's got no fucking brains to rattle. I don't know, but he can take a punch for sure. And MVP, I don't think he can take a punch that great. He just got outstruck by Mike Perry, for fuck's sakes. Like, I mean, I know Mike Perry's had a hell of a year over there in bare knuckle or whatever, and good for him. But I just feel like if Mike Perry can beat him up on the feet, I think Kevin Holland can too, I think. But
maybe I'll take a look at it.
But yeah, we'll see. All right, moving on to the co-main event. I love this fight. We got Dustin Poirier, 29-8 versus Benoit Saint Denis, 13-1. I'm shocked Poirier accepted this fight. I think it's a terrible matchup for him personally. I think Benoit's going to retire him. I think he's going to finish him. I don't think it's going to last that long. I think just Saint Denis just on fire right now, and Poirier is old, coming off a knockout over Gaethje. And I'm a huge Poirier fan. I've loved watching him over the years. He does have pretty good hands. He is a jiu-jitsu black belt, but he's been tapped a couple times, so it's not like he's untappable. He can be tapped out. His wrestling's really not that great. Poirier's never had great wrestling. I just think Benoit can win this fight any way he wants, to be honest. I could see him catching him and putting him out or taking him down and beating him on the ground. Like I think he's fine everywhere. I favor Benoit Saint Denis everywhere. And because he's such a finisher, I'm going to be playing him by finish for that extra value because he's finishing everybody. So I'm going to ride the Benoit Saint Denis fight again here. What do you got?
I think Poirier's got the better striking, but I don't think this is going to get won in the striking realm. Poirier's showed in more than one occasion that he can be taken down. If it wasn't Khabib, if it was Michael Chandler, if he won that Michael Chandler fight, but if Michael Chandler had better fight IQ, you know what I mean, he wouldn't have won that fight. So I feel like Benoit Saint Denis, once he gets it on the ground, he is very, and don't forget Dan Hooker took him down 4 times too, right? So Benoit Saint Denis has a different pressure when he gets it on the ground. He's a really strong man. He's
Military something.
Military something, and he's tough as hell. That beating he took from Dos Santos, Poirier can't dish that out to him. So yeah, I'm gonna roll with Benoit Saint Denis, probably by submission.
I'm just gonna hammer the by finish for sure because I think he can do it either way. But whatever, either way, I'm looking forward to it. And props to Dustin for giving an up and comer a chance because he didn't have to give him that opportunity. All right, moving on to the main event. We've got Sugar Sean O'Malley, the new champ, 17-1 versus Marlon Vera, 23-8-1. This is a rematch. Vera basically kicked the legs out of O'Malley and then finished him on the ground with an elbow. I mean, there's no reason that Vera can't do it again. Has O'Malley improved? Yes, he's improved. He's actually shown better grappling more than anything. He showed decent takedown defense, and he got up a couple times in other fights. So he's improved the grappling. I mean, he's still going to have the much better hands. Marlon Vera, the only thing with Marlon Vera is he can take a beating. So Vera's there for the long run. And if O'Malley can't get him out of there and it goes long, that's when Vera could take this fight over. And especially if he's smart and he uses those leg kicks, I mean, there's no reason he can't do this again. I don't have a strong pick here. I need more. Like, we're going to do a bet episode in a couple of days when the props come out. I'll be looking at the props to pick a straight up winner. I think they both have a path here. O'Malley, volume, better hands. but I don't trust his durability. And I don't know. Marlon Vera sucks. Like, I don't think Marlon Vera is that great either. He really doesn't deserve this title shot. It seems like they almost handpicked Marlon Vera to get Sean O'Malley a win. I mean, it's hard for me not to want to say the UFC wants Sean O'Malley to win this fight, so maybe I should just roll with Sean O'Malley. I need more time. I don't have a confident pick right now. What do you think?
Sean O'Malley by decision, because Marlon Vera is Mexican and won't get knocked out, but I think he gets out volumed. He would have to win moments in this fight. Is he really going to take him down? No, like Marlon Vera can probably take him down, but like shown zero fight IQ, and he is very not on the gas until about the third round, right? So I don't know. I think he's just going to get out volumed. I just think this stays on the feet. It's a kickboxing match. Sean's got the better technique, and he out volumes him. I don't feel like he's has the power to put out a Marlon Vera chin, and not many. I don't think he ever has been knocked out. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't remembered one in the last 5 years. That's for sure. But yeah, I think he out volumes him. I think he beats him to the punch. And unanimous decision, more than likely, would be my pick. Yeah, Marlon Vera only loses by decision. He's not knocking him out. He's not. And he's not subbing him because he's not going to take him down. So I feel like a volume game was going to... He looked okay in the first fight, aside from getting kicked in the leg. He got those chicken legs, but he showed against Aljamain Sterling that the grappling is getting better. Because Aljo just had to take... Everyone's like, well, Aljo's going to take him down. I had a big bet on Aljo. Thought he was just going to be able to take him down and roll on him. But... No. And if this stays on the feet, I don't think Marlon Vera, he's too proud to give up. So yeah, that's why I'm saying decision.
Vera just has the durability. I don't love Sean O'Malley's durability. I mean, it's not to say that I can't really say he's weak chin because it's not like we've seen him knocked out, but he has always reacted bad from leg kicks. Like, I'm going back to all his fights. He does not react well to leg kicks. I mean, that's the path for Vera. Problem is his volume's not great, but I don't know. It's Vera's leg kicks versus O'Malley's hands. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll come back probably Wednesday when the props drop. We're going to find our best spots. I think there's going to be a lot of spots on this card. So come back. We're going to find a lot of bets for this card. I'm really looking forward to it. Again, as always, drop us a comment. Let us know your favorite picks. Let us know any underdogs that you feel we should take a look into. And we're going to do a lot of diligence over the next few days, and we'll come back with our props Wednesday. Until then, have a good one.
Peace.